apologies if it's a little bit dark. I'm on my way up to North Wales, one of my go-to places when it comes to sort of elevation training. Really looking forward to it. I'm off to Snowdonia. It's about 5 hours from home, and I did decide to go to North Wales. It is my happy place, if that's the right word to use. I'm going to go up to Snowdonia. A couple of reasons. This is obviously for the Arc of Attrition training. It's my last long training run, as it were. Up to Snowdon is 1,085 meters, so give or take 1,100 meters. I'll be going, if you know Snowdon at all, Irwydfa, the Welsh name. I'll be going up the Llanberis Path to the top, back down, loop around to the pig track, that's PYG, down towards Penny Pass, which is where that hostel is. If you've not been to that hostel, it's a fantastic hostel, great access to all the paths, or two paths at least, and then back up via the horseshoe, which is essentially the miners track and the horseshoe, and then straight up to Snowdonia again, and then back down the Llanberis Path. So all in, I guess it's about 25 kilometers and about 2,200 meters elevation. And the main reason I'm doing it, one, it's my happy place, I love going up to Snowdonia. Two, is to check the kit and put it through its paces to see how it performs. And by all accounts, it's around about -5. I've even heard reports of -10. I'm not sure it's going to be that cold, but certainly the wind chill factor at the top may very well be -5 at the top of Snowdon. So I'm looking forward to that. I've almost completed my journey. I've got about 40 minutes to go. It's been almost 5 hours already, so it's a long drive. I did consider going to South Wales. You got Penny Van there, which is about 880, give or take 890 meters. It's only a couple of hours drive for me as opposed to 5 hours. But as I say, Snowdon and Snowdonia, the little town of Llanberis, is my happy place, so I love going up there. And Snowdon is just fabulous. It's majestic, and there are so many different paths and peaks that you can take. If you haven't been, do try and get there at some point. It's a beautiful mountain range. So yeah, I'll let you know how I get on, and I will put all the kit through its paces. If you haven't seen my kit check list, the mandatory kit check, it's on the last video I just did. I'll put a link in the show notes so you can have a look at that. And of course, if you've got any questions or comments, as always, put them in the comment box below. I do answer them all. And yeah, I'll let you know how I get on. Hopefully everything checks out and the kit performs well. So good morning. I don't know if you can see me very well. I'm in the car. It is 4 a.m. I'm on the way to Llanberis, just from the hostel, and I'm on my solo sunrise today. So getting to the top of Snowdonia to watch the sunrise. It should take me about 3 hours on the Llanberis Path with a bit of luck. And really is as much to get some training in. It's a kind of an early recce for the UTS 100 in May, but more to the point and more for now is to get the training done, and my last long run, as it were, for the Arc of Attrition, which is just in 7 days. So testing out all the equipment, all the kit, and it's supposed to be about -10 at the top. So that'll be a good test for all the equipment, and we'll see how we get on. All right, check in later. So I don't know if you can see me. It's pitch black. Just walking one of the little roads leading up to the Llanberis Path, and it is now 5:15. So I've only got about 3 hours before sunrise. So I'm just going to march on and hopefully get to the top before the actual sunrise. And this is the last bit of light through Llanberis before I get to pitch black. Here we'll see, and then the torch will come on. So just approaching the top of the actual path now from Llanberis. Start of the Llanberis Path, which is pretty cool. Strange enough, that walk up the tarmac piece from Llanberis town itself is probably one of the hardest bits of the climb. Then it kind of starts to ease off. So I'm up the path now. Now we're on the real stuff, the gravel and shale and slate, and then off we go. So, looking forward to it. First gate, and then about 7.5, 8k straight to the top. Don't know if you can see me, just past halfway, about 4.5k up the Llanberis Path. You can see it's still icy and snowy. Rocks are very slippery and icy, but not terrible at all, very doable. But just got to watch your step, because obviously it's a bit slippery. But good news is there's no wind at all. Very, very light wind, so it doesn't feel cold at all. In fact, with 5 layers on, I'm actually feeling quite hot again, so overcompensated, but that's okay. I got my hydration vest and a backpack just for a change of clothes, to take layers on and layers off. So far so good. I'll do some more when I get to the top. So more or less at the summit. Now at the Cooper summit, and then just there's a few people wandering around. Not long now, just at the Copa summit, and then it's a sort of a steady walk to the top summit of Snowdon. Lots of large, big boulders and steps, but more or less there now, won't be long. Last few steps. Almost at the summit. So far so good. Quite a few people up here already. So I made it at the top of Snowdon for a beautiful sunrise. It's just stunning, absolutely stunning. It's about 7:30, something like 45 minutes. Lots of people here as well. coming back down the railway line along Llanberis Path. Stayed at the top for about an hour and actually before sunrise it was the clearest view, although we didn't see the actual sunrise. It was beautiful orangey, pink, purple colours coming up, and that lasted for about 15-20 minutes. Whoops. And then the sort of mist ascended and the clouds descended. So there wasn't an awful lot to see then. And as I said, I was going to go down the pig track over to Penny Pass and back up the miners track, but it was just too icy and too snowy, and I haven't got my crampons, and there's lots of people attempting it. I think foolishly, some of them just wearing normal trainers, and it was very, very slippery. And that first part of the pig track, not sure if you're aware, it's very, very steep, very technical. You need to scramble down, and yeah, I think without crampons and decent gloves you're going to struggle. So coming back down the very mild, easygoing Llanberis Path, get back to the car, warm up a little bit, and then I have got crampons in the car, so if I've got time I'll drive over to Penny Pass and do that route with crampons, at least in the backpack, until I get to the higher bits where there's ice and snow. We'll have to wait and see. Decided to run back down the Llanberis Path. A bit icy, a bit snowy, but I was going to go down the pig track over the top. As soon as I reached it, it's obviously the north face, and it was completely covered in ice and snow, and I haven't brought my crampons, and it was just too risky, too dangerous. I saw a couple of people trying to go down, sliding 10 or 15 feet, nearly going off the edge, so I thought, nah, I'll give it a miss this time. So all good otherwise. Getting there finally. Just approaching the halfway calf. It's only ever open in the summer. It's a shame really. It'd be great to have a hot coffee or something right now. There you go. I think it probably is about halfway up the Llanberis Path, give or take. It's certainly up the first easiest half. After that it starts to get a bit tricky. But on my way down, and we'll hopefully be able to get up the other side from Penny Pass up on the pig track once I get over to the other side by car. So the last 4 or 5k from the halfway calf, very runnable, which is great, but it can catch you out. I've taken a face plant more than once on this path. Not fun, but you can see the track behind me, fairly flat and reasonable surface. Then you get these big flagstones, and then it turns back to solid gravel, so fairly runnable, but you just got to pick up your toes and pick up your feet, because there's lots of little rocks that protrude and catch you out. So here we are, roughly 2 hours 45 later. It's obviously daylight now, which is fantastic. Back at the stone that I saw 3 hours ago this morning. So, good to be back on the tarmac road. It's a shame I didn't get down to go down the pig track, but there you go. Bit of fun this morning, why not? So it's a nice feeling back in Llanberis. Oh, that's all a bit weird. Just ran down Llanberis Path, so Yeah, great feeling. I've done that a few times now. Managed not to face plant this time, which is good. And as I jump in the car, well, head for the cafe. I think it's still only 8 in the morning, so I don't think any cafes will be open at 8 in the morning on a Sunday. So I just head in the car. I'll go over to Penny Pass, which is a youth hostel, and the cafes are definitely open all day, so that's great. Yeah, so I'm really pleased. Shame I couldn't get down Pig Track, but I'll see if I can get down there this time with my crampons on. Just a case of putting them on and driving around, finding a space in the car park. So round 2, as it were. Just come back to Penny Pass, the youth hostel. Had a lovely hot coffee. Took the bus the first time. This is the car park at Penny Pass. You've got to pre-book it, and it's always chock-a-block, and it costs a fortune. I think it's £40 a day, which is insane. So, but there's a park and drive just down the road, about 2 miles, and it costs you £5. So I've done that. So I'm now going to go up the Pig Track and then down the Miners Track, or the other way around rather, up the Miners Track, back up to Snowdon. That'll be twice today, and then down the Pig Track, which is over there. You can hardly see it, it's up by those scraggly rocks, and then the Miners Track is over there in the distance. So going up the Miners Track, Penny Pass just behind me. I've done this route a few times. This is exactly 5k to the base of the mountain, and then it's straight up. It's like a wall, so you've got to scramble up there a lot of the way. The elevation comes at the end, so this is a very runnable, literally 5k until you get to the base of the the path that goes straight up. Be interesting. So I've got these, they're not crampons, so they're kind of like crampons. They're a rubber sole with metal spikes in them, which you just sort of pull around. They're rubber, pull around the base of your shoes. So I've got the Hoka Mafate 4s on, my favourite go-to trail shoes, and they'll just give them that extra grip. It'll be interesting because I tried to do this track 2 hours ago, coming from the other side, on the north side, Snowdonia, coming down from the top, having just gone up the Llanberis Path, trying to get to the beginning of the Pig Track, and it was just too icy and snowy and too risky, because I would have slid with these, and I saw a couple of people sliding quite badly. And at the top there, it's very technical, and if you slide a bit too much, you're off the edge. So I'm trying the other way around now, from the bottom up to the top, and this time I've got those rubber crampon things, so with a bit of luck they'll help. And then go over the top of Snowdonia and back down the Pig Track, which is a lot shorter but also very technical at the top, and then back into the youth hostel, because I got some really nice coffee in there and it's warm. And by the time I've done this, which is about 10, maybe 12k loop, I'll probably need it. Catch you later. Beautiful scenery. This track is very runnable. I'm going to say it's 5k. Beautiful lake, and this track goes all the way up to Snowdon. You can just see it in the distance there, and the last 1.5k is pretty much vertical, but this is pretty flat and runnable. There is a gentle incline you can see in the distance, but it's nothing terrible. But spectacular views, huge rocks. My happy place. Beautiful part of North Wales, Snowdonia. So still on the Miners Track, but I love this little part where it's like a causeway and then opens up into where the old copper mines used to be, and lakes, water on that side, and then water on the other side. There you go. It's sort of a stone bridge between both lakes. Yeah, very pretty around here. Just running at a gentle pace. Getting used to that fat burning, fat adaptation, as they say. I haven't used any gels today. I've had one muesli bar. Still feeling okay. Not particularly tired or fatigued. So I think it's working. Been doing this for a while on all my long runs. 16 to about 22, 25k. Bit of water and no gels. So, and it seems to be working, albeit at a slow pace, about 6 to 6:30 per kilometre. But why not? Spectacular scenery. Snowdonia National Park. Wow, look at that. So peaceful. This lake is just stunning. Cloud cover, mist is coming down, and I'm heading right up into that. I know this path well. This is the easy bit, and then as you approach that dark bit in the distance, that crag, you literally go straight up and scrambling on all fours. So I'll just enjoy this little bit of path. It's nice and flat for the time being, and then it's about 40 minutes straight up. But at least then be at the top of Snowdon, and it's much quicker on this track, the miners track, than it is going up the Llanberis Path. This track's about 5k, Llanberis is about 7.5k. Just beautiful though. Can't hear anything except the water running. So this is the end of the flat bit, which is lovely here, and then I'm gonna face that beast straight up. It'll take me about 45 minutes, maybe a bit longer. Just spoke to those guys in the distance and they said, yeah, you're definitely gonna need your crampons. So I'll have those ready and I'll put them on later. Just took a tumble on these steps. I couldn't figure out why, because the rocks look dry, but there's patches where people haven't trodden on, and you can just see it. But this is slippery as hell. So if you're up Snowdonia and it looks dry, which it is today, it's not sunny, but it's certainly not wet at all. But there's this white film on the rocks. Everywhere that's been trodden is fine, but where it hasn't been trodden on, that white film is still there. It's like super icy. These rocks in massive bags, I guess they've been brought up in helicopters just to rebuild the path where it's worn away. Stunning views, beautiful. So this is the scrambly bit at the top end of Miners Track. Just spotted this ice, looks amazing. The water's melting underneath it. It's called creating these little beautiful water droplets on the inside and under the ice. Really cool. Here we go, scrambling on all fours now. It's pretty crazy. So that's the Miners Track. That's going to go straight up to the top, Snowdon. Here's a milestone, literally a milestone, and that signifies that route, which you can hardly make out. You can just see the people in distance going down. The Miners Track. So from the top, down there, right to the milestone, takes you down the Miners Track. But if you come this way, left at the milestone, that track is then the pig track, PYG, and that again takes you all the way back to Penny Pass. But I know the top's snowy because I was there this morning, so I'm literally just putting on my little studded, they're kind of like crampons but not quite as aggressive, but they got really good metal studs, and that'll be enough to see me through the ice at the top. Here's one that I've got on, and I'm about to put this one on, but I'll need two hands because they're very tight and stretchy. This stuff is treacherous. Oop. I've got these little crampons on, which are working a treat, but without them I'd be in trouble. Beautiful. Still very much snow covered up here. Funny enough, the sun was up at 6 AM, now it's about 12 on my second run up Snowdon. The sun is definitely not up, it's very, very cloudy. So funny, this is where I was this morning. It's still dark, but I was coming the opposite direction from the Llanberis Path. Right now I'm coming up the pig track, but it was way too slippery this morning, and I didn't have my crampons, which I've now got on. And there's the finger stone again. So let's summit the top of Snowdon again, and then back down the pig track. What I've just come up is the miners track, and yeah, it's stunning, absolutely beautiful this morning. There we go. I ran out of battery earlier, so I've had to recharge and just do this last bit. Yeah, so I love Snowdonia, as I've said earlier. It's one of those places that is just totally magical. Now in the snow in the winter, of course, just to be a little bit careful. But of course that whole video was all about the training for the Arc of Attrition. I was testing my kit, I've got changed now, testing my kit simply to know that it's going to perform in that cold, wet and ice. And it did. If anything, I was too hot, so that worked well. So I'll be filming the Arc of Attrition, so if you haven't already, don't feel obliged by any means, but if you haven't already, do subscribe, because the Arc of Attrition is my first time doing the Arc of Attrition. I'm doing the Arc 25 by UTMB, and that'll be the next video that's uploaded. Can't wait. I'm actually doing it with Ivan Rastovec, who's the barefoot runner. You may have seen my other videos about that. I'll pop that up on here if you want to watch that. That's also going to be in the show notes below. So hope you enjoyed that. That was my jaunt up to Snowdonia and back twice, over the Llanberis Path, down again, and right round to Penny Pass, and then up the pig track, and sorry, up the miners track and down the pig track, and then finally at the Penny Pass hostel to have a lovely hot coffee. It was fantastic. If you're ever around there, I'd recommend all of those paths. Llanberis itself is a beautiful little town, in just for everything, for climbing gear, having a coffee, and of course Penny Pass, well worth going there just to have a look at the hostel. And if you need to stay anywhere, I'd also recommend that hostel. Thank you very much for watching. See you on the next one. Remember, the next one's going to be about the Arc of Attrition. If you want to watch that, subscribe and it'll come into your inbox. Thanks very much. Take care. See you next time. Bye for now.